Well, god damn, looks like it's a brand new year. Happy 2023 to all of the faithful Ringside Club viewers, supporters, subscribers. Peace. It's the kids, it's the undefeated, undisputed, best four-man booth in the game. Quattros Champions is Pro Wrestling Media. We're here with a brand new episode of the Ringside Club. Now, as always, we're going to start off with a little survey. It's survey time, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're right around the corner. We're right in the middle of Royal Rumble season, right around the corner from Mania season. So, it feels right just to ask who a surprise entrant in this year's Royal Rumble could possibly be. I'm going to say Naomi. She returns back. She enters the Royal Rumble. Ron, what you got?
I got Cody Rhodes.
This guy.
That's a good pick. I'm going to go with Andrade, bro.
I'm going with the sleeper, Jinder Mahal.
Yo, I'm out of here. It's been a good show.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club pod. My name is A.O. Say you heard around the Don. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. Kayfabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the venue, fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Peace to the gods, and of course, peace to the earths, children, boys, girls of all ages. It feels so good to be back. It's my favorite podcast. I don't know about y'all, but welcome back. It's the mighty RSC, the Ringside Club. Before we get started, everything you need to know, of course, is at thringsideclub.com. We're broadcasting live from the Empire Tri-State, and if you choose to subscribe, which I suggest you do. You can do so on YouTube for the visuals. For the audio, we're on Apple Podcasts. Of course, we're on Spotify. Everywhere else you get your podcasts. Make sure you tell a friend. Please tell a friend. Tell a friend that it's them again. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram for all the socials. As far as me, myself, the undisputed king of strong style, my name is A.O. You heard. You catch me everywhere at DJ A.O. Baker. Let's pass it over to the guy.
Hey, who are you? Let me introduce you to the other Don. Don.
Yes, sir. I am Ron the Don, and you can find me on all socials at Ron Don PMF. You see the coffee, you see the hat in the background. Let's go. Copy some. What's good, Bug?
The champ is here.
This guy looks like he's the champ, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think I look like the champ all the time, but it is what it is. It's your boy Blame Boogie, everybody's favorite scapegoat. You already know where to find me. I'm just happy that we're back, guys. Chad, what you got for him?
It's the bloke.
Kid Le Garçon himself. The fellow, the bruv. CL, Young Adava himself. I wouldn't be anywhere else but live from a mobile facility because I'm always on go when we are potting. So you know what? It's happening. Currently, we are partaking. Big shout out to the Smokers Club holding us down. You know what I'm saying? Dizzle, what up? You know what I'm saying? Wale Mania 2023.
Shouts to that infant. Shouts to that infant that Bull got in his hands right there.
Boy, got that turkey bag.
Yes.
Turkey legs, man.
Yeah.
Big
The
nerds.
Turkey Club.
Pause.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
We back though. It's been a while. It's been a long while, but we are here, fellas. It's time to pod.
Before we get into it, it's 2023.
Right?
How's everybody's mental health? How are we living, guys?
I can't complain, man. I'm doing all right over here. Had a nice little holiday break. Spent some time with some loved ones. Decompressed a little bit. But now we're back to work, back on the pod. No complaints.
Nothing better than seeing the family than not seeing the family anymore. You know, it's always a good time.
Yo, facts, man. What's the face? My holiday was interesting, but it's a new year. Got my Batman cup. Got my AJ Styles shirt. Salute to the God. We back, man.
Stunting
Just
heavy.
saying. Word.
Love it. Chad chilling.
Oh,
What
it's
country
me?
you in
Oh.
right now, B?
Oh, all right. Well, shit. My holiday was good. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain. I stayed stateside. I was here. You know what I'm saying? Been working like a slave horse. Got a new camera, so I'm setting that up in the new studio space. I will be relocating from the mobile facility to a nice setup for the next future episodes. So look forward to that, guys. You know what I'm saying? Mike set up all that good stuff. We're here. You know what I'm saying? The bruv is grinding. I'm out here working. You know what I'm saying? Putting paint where
Chad from the car phone.
Yeah, I mean, this was 92 right now. You know what I'm saying? I had a big joint right here. Like, yep. So we good. You know what I'm saying? I had a brick right here with me. You know what I mean? But we here. I missed y'all fellas. It's been a minute, but we've been grinding the holiday season, getting right. And we about to kick it to y'all this whole rest of 2023, man. We got so much to recap and so much to talk about. Rumble season is finally here. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Bug, how's the new crib?
I'm loving it, man. It's costing some money to keep it warm, but you know what? That comes with ownership, so we're just blessed, man. We're happy. My wife and I were actually just talking about it before we got started here recording tonight. We've been here officially for a month now, so time goes quick.
Shouts to Lavish Republic. Now check this out. Lavish Republic, they represent the dream of being able to come from any social background and become successful without compromising one's integrity while protecting the right of freedom through artistic expression. Lavish Republic, live life lavish. Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. Ownership.
I hope y'all are well.
Love to see it. Love to hear it.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't even know where we're starting. I just know we're starting with AO.
Absolutely. So check this out. We're coming fresh off of what is a holiday in the world of professional wrestling. Every January 4th is Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom. So this was Wrestle Kingdom 17. And without going through the entire card, first of all, over here in the States, in New York in particular, on this time zone, the pre-show starts at about 1:20, 1:30 a.m. And then it runs roughly until about, 7, let's say. So knowing that this was a good opportunity that I had to actually watch that show live, I didn't go to sleep from the day before. Stayed up, watched the whole show, took a little quick nap around 7:30, 8 o'clock once it went off, got up, got to work. So that was a nice little experience.
You know, I'm a vampire. You know, I be vamping, so it was like actually like, oh, AO's awake right now. Actually, everybody's awake. The chat's up right now. Okay, like we all up right now.
That's what I was about to say. It was dope because I thought I'd have been the only one up. Next thing you know, the chat is popping. And we over there talking about this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And Twitter was moving, so it was a nice time. It was the first time I got a chance to watch the whole show straight through live without taking a nap and shit. So that was good. I enjoyed it. You know, top to bottom, it was dope. The clap crowds, you know, they finally got a chance to cheer. They got that COVID mandate that they're loosening up over there in Japan, so you got a chance to finally.
Bug killed me with the funeral clap, yo. I was like,
hell yeah.
Yo, it was rough.
It was tough. I'm used
if
to
you've
it.
ever
I'm familiar.
If you've ever told a joke in a funeral home,
but you know what?
It's the same type of response.
But the other thing about Japanese crowds is that even when they were cheering, it's still a completely different crowd from what we used to over here in the States, and especially over there in England. England is a whole different beast altogether. But
watching its entirety and seeing the silence, I think, is what's like. Like you're just like starting to just like tap your feet and fingers, like, all right, like the moves are good, but it's just like, why is nobody saying a thing? Like I just Like it's
it's a little jarring,
rambunctious in there. You know what I'm saying? We would be getting kicked out. Like me and Boog would be like, yo, they got to get you guys out of here, man, because you guys are doing too much.
We don't smell right to get in there. They would never let us in the door.
For starters, the flowery is potent. Yeah, for starters. But yeah, man, it was a good show. So I just wanted to go over some of my personal highlight. I think of my like top 3 favorite wrestlers. Maybe number 1 right now is Zack Sabre Jr. He's been in New Japan for about 6 years, and he finally won his first singles title, which is dope. He's been a tag wrestler. He's been a singles wrestler, but he's been a tag wrestler also for a couple of years and had a couple reigns there. But he's the first New Japan World TV champion, which is cool because like the rules of that match, is a 15-minute time limit. All of those matches are going to be free on YouTube plus on New Japan World, which is dope. And if you know anything about Zack, his style is like a fucking spider. He just waits for you and then he counters, throws you into some kind of submission. And shit is like, it's art. It's absolute art. So that was dope. That's a personal favorite of mine. But the 2 biggest stories coming out of Wrestle Kingdom, for starters, we had the debut of the former Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné. So we'll get into that a little bit. and then one of the best matches that I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you go and take a look at this match over the NJPW IWGP, pardon me, United States Championship. We had Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, who was the defending champion at the time. It was a fire match. There's absolutely not a critique in the world. If anybody's critiquing that, you're just nitpicking and you're not here to have fun. So I don't even want to talk about that shit like that. It was fire. It was violent. It was personal, but it was also over a title. It was dope. So, fellas, let's go around the ring real quick. And on either of those topics, where do y'all see, for starters, or what would you like to see, or what's a dream match now that Mercedes is no longer in WWE? What are some potential matchups that you want to see? Where do you want to see her go? And then if you had a chance to watch the Ospreay versus Omega match, what are your thoughts?
All right, well, I wasn't the guy to be up at 2, 3 in the morning to watch it, unfortunately. But I did start to watch it today. I got up to the Okada match. I'm only halfway through it, so almost done. As far as my thoughts on the overall show, pretty dope. I cannot lie. My highlight is the Ospreay Omega match. Dope from start to finish. I have no critique. My second favorite match was the match before that, the Fatal 4-Way match.
That was over the junior heavyweight.
Best match to me. As far as Sasha, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Sasha is good. She's still every time I hear her on the mic, she's a little cringy. I don't know what you guys. Yeah,
she's not good on the mic. She's never been good on the mic.
She's dope in the ring. As far as the debut, she got a nice pop. A different gear now. You know, trying to change some things up. It was cool to me. Like, I wasn't like super duper impressed. And then also too, it was like we already knew she was going there, so it was like we were trying to figure out when she was going to debut on the show. So I mean, it was all right to me. Like nothing crazy. But it wasn't bad either. You know, but I hope she has a really dope career. A dope run in NJPW, you know. What you got?
I feel like we all expected it. We knew something was happening. Like I think somebody said it was the worst kept secret, you know, that she was going to New Japan. So the fact that happened wasn't really a surprise. I always appreciate the Americanizing of something because I love fusion culture. I also love when things are not so American-centric or saturated, and there's other crossovers as well. But it's because we're speaking about New Japan. I like the Americanization of it when she came in and brought the inner city vibe, the hip-hop vibe that we all love, the stuff that we all came up on. I don't really like the word urban, but that's what people use for that shit, but whatever. But it was dope. I feel like her debut was necessary on an otherwise wrestling show. You know what I mean? Which obviously she's bringing wrestling to it, but that segment kind of broke it up a little bit. As far as like her potential people she could wrestle now, I mean, the sky's the limit. She could wrestle anyone, anywhere. The problem is that there aren't so many anyones anywhere. I mean, I guess there are, but there's not a whole lot of extremely talented opponents for her everywhere. I think the obvious ones are in AEW for right now. I would love to see her versus Britt Baker, versus Thunder Rosa, versus pretty much any woman that they have. Jade Cargill. We've already seen her versus Athena. We've seen her versus everybody that's been in the E before. But I think it's exciting times. It's different. It's something that we could all take a look at and hopefully enjoy. Hopefully she enjoys it. You know, that's the whole reason why she left. So we'll see what happens. I still think for some reason she's gonna debut or not debut, but she's gonna come out at the Rumble too, and just make us all laugh or whatever. I mean, she's not gonna stay in WWE, but neither did Mickie James, you know. Anyway, so they have enough money to do it. I don't know why they wouldn't, but anyway. as far as the Ospreay match, I think that I didn't watch it from beginning to end. I did see highlights, but from what I've seen, what I've heard, it's just another 5-star match, which I'm sure it was. The pieces that I've seen, I always love the way Kenny Omega wrestles. I can't front. I'm not a Kenny Omega hater. So, like, when I see him fight, I don't see any real flaws there. And the man got a black eye fighting this guy. So anytime you walk away with an injury, I respect the shit out of it. So Will Ospreay also is an amazing wrestler and somebody people should pay attention to if they haven't. What up, Chad?
Mercedes Moné. She is on the way. I'm excited. I ain't going to hold you. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen the next couple of months. She's got quite a few different challengers I feel like is on the way outside of Kyrie. I don't think this is just going to be a New Japan stop. I think this is just going to be the New Japan stop. Like, she said in the press conference, she's got a lot of accolades she wants to attain throughout the year. So I take it. I think she's going to go to AAA. She's going to do it up. She's going to have an AEW stint. I don't think she's going to be signed to AEW. I think that's going to be the caveat. I feel like she's going to be like the pop in, like, oh shit, Mercedes Moné is here. I don't see it being
like Jay White. Like they just pop in and pop out.
Right. Because she's like, yo, I don't want to run up and you know what I mean? Let me just run this up in New Japan. I'll come chill in AEW and help Saraya if I need to. But other than that, like, let me just run it up over here. I think she'll have like an interesting contract. I could be wrong. But if I see Mercedes Moné as All Elite, I'm going to be like, yeah, but I'm also going to be like, oh, God, another one. And it's like, yo, I'm cool with her just setting the trend and just running it up in New Japan. Do something different. I'm here for the difference. I like the fact she's doing a different route. If she just popped up, which she can still pop up this Wednesday, I also am just like, we knew this was happening. New Japan, we can't say we saw this coming. She saw this coming, but we all were just like, she's going to All Elite. She's going to All Elite. Nah, she actually is going to stop off in Japan first and run it up. Get a ticket over there, probably go fuck with Conan a little bit in the future, you know what I mean? And go run it up in AAA, headline Triple Mania. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Her and that in the reign of her and Deonna Purrazzo about to happen?
Exactly.
She definitely deserves to be a belt collector. I can see that.
She's going to be on some belt collector shit this year. She's like, yo, I'm doing it my way. Like, I'm seeing all my other peers have fun. FTR's doing this. Like, I'm talking to Dax and Cash on the text, I'm sure. It's just like, you know what? Like, I'm doing shit my way. Like, I'm going to go get me some belts. Just run it up on the circuit. And I think that's going to work in her favor. You know what I'm saying? AEW's women division is stacked as is. We don't need her already coming in here and just being like, all right, put the belt on her, let's go. Jamie Hayter is surviving right now with just DMD by her side. She's trying to just scrap for TV time. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to add Mercedes and Saraya. It's like, you know
yo,
what I mean?
she didn't get a word in when she was sitting next to Britt during the promo.
She holds
She's the champ sitting next to the, you know what I mean?
She holds the belt so awkwardly that it's just like, you don't even want this. You don't even want to be here, do you? Like, you don't want to be here. Like, this isn't gonna be long. It was fun.
Which I think that's part of that's gonna be the story that they run once they finally do have that split. But right now, before we get to that point, that should look awkward as hell. Like, how you the champ and you don't get a word in? You know what I'm saying? Like,
weird.
That shit is crazy.
So on the Mercedes Moné side, keep her away from the women's division in AEW.
Yo, my caveat for that, right? So. This is big match Mercedes. I 100% agree. She's hitting CMLL. She's hitting Stardom. Next month is the match against Kyrie. I think it's Battle in the Valley. It's a pay-per-view. I want to say it's like February 18th, some shit like that. I'm copping. That's a fight joint, $20. She definitely should hit CMLL or hit AAA for one of them shows. Just go all over the place. You know what I'm saying? As long as whatever number she's giving them, y'all could pay the bill, I'll come through. Collect a couple of belts. The caveat I will say for AEW is I heard somewhere along the line that the reason that the women are always in the spot on Dynamite that they're in is because the ratings always dip whenever the women get on. Now, you can come at that from two different angles. You can say the reason that the ratings dip is because you haven't prioritized them to make them important for people to care enough, or they're just not a draw, either or. You know what I'm saying? I think where Mercedes comes in is she's a bona fide superstar. You know what I'm saying? She's had the marketing behind her from WWE for probably 10 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I think like between her and Saraya, probably the two biggest names that they have that are homegrown or not, those are the two biggest names. You put them in, you give them something meaningful to do, you pop a couple of ratings. Maybe that proves to whoever the powers that be that decide, Tony and whoever else, where the women's segments are. Maybe it's like, all right, now we see that there's an audience that's tapping in. Let's give y'all another segment. You know what I'm saying? Between that and moving all the ROH shit and just giving this shit a little bit more space, maybe that's something to come out. Because you saw as soon as Punk went over there, they're over 1 million pretty much most nights that he was on Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? So having somebody come in that really pops that number gives a priority to this division, and maybe we get to see, tag team division, or maybe we get to see more than one match. Maybe we get to see them out of the 9:15 to 9:30 slot.
That's mad funny anytime I see that time slot between WWE and AEW.
Dog, it never fails.
Like,
it never fails.
I want to text you. I just want to text the chat like never fails. Like every.
It never
Since
fails.
you mentioned Punk, I'm just happy that none of us said that Punk would show up at the Rumble because none of us smoke PCP. So you know what I mean. We're good. So I'm just saying.
Dog, stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Don't, I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, the Undertaker's.
I'm not gonna say never, but I will say he ain't coming for this Royal Rumble. He ain't gonna be there this year. He ain't gonna be fit. There's no way they because they gotta buy him out of his contract. He had like a 3-year joint, so. But yeah, man, like New Japan is exciting. I think the cool thing about New Japan, it's not a weekly joint. So their next event, I want to say, is later on this month, 22nd, 25th, some shit like that. And then they get into, they the day after they got an event, which was today. It's called New Year Dash. And that's where they kind of line up all of the fallout after Wrestle Kingdom and whatever the next feuds are going to be. So they already got their next feuds lined up. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going on with them. Zack Sabre got a little click now. You know what I'm saying? The Mighty Don't Nail, and they took on a young boy, a little Japanese trainee. So they got 4 people in that group right now, so that's looking dope. So New Japan looks dope. We'll see what Mercedes does next outside of the possibility of her showing up next week on Dynamite. Other than that, she's definitely booked for that New Japan show. And yeah, we'll see what it does, what it do. But that's my topic. Throw it over to the Don himself.
All right. So this episode I wanted to get into Raw since the first Raw for the year, and I know they're going to try to set the tone for what's going to happen for the next going up to Rumble and going into WrestleMania. So just going to touch on a few things, nothing crazy. Just go run down from the beginning. We got the Bloodline come in, invade, destroy everything. Then Kevin Owens get his ass beat after that. Then Adam Pearce throwing another hissy fit, trying to get them out of there, blah, blah, blah. Then you have the whole, a few guys trying to get at them because he's been attacking them, because the Bloodline's been attacking them for a few weeks, piece by piece. So we're going to see where that goes. After that, I believe it was I think it was Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair, which was kind of cringy. They're still continuing with this,
shit was terrible
in the chat.
Hokey.
Hey, if you were a fan of Scary Movie, you were going to enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
Point blank.
That was the only dope thing about
Yes.
that whole shit. The fact that they did that from a movie, that was dope. The whole rest of that shit was bad.
Mediocre.
And I know I'm gonna get more into Alexa Bliss once we get to you book, so I'm gonna save that because I know you have something to say about Alexa Bliss. So I think after that, I'm not remembering who was in order, but I know it was I think it was the Street Profits versus was it the Bloodline, I think, or something like that. I know after Bianca got her ass beat, Montez Ford was out of it, so they were trying to tell that story, and they ended up losing anyways. I think those are like the main things. Later on in the show, I forgot what segment it was, but we saw some of the Hurt Business in the back. Just little.
Yeah, it was like a little backstage interview. Was that when they were talking to Alexa Bliss? They were talking to somebody. It could have been Bliss, somebody else, but we saw Cedric and Shelton back there with MVP talking to Pierce.
Yep, and hopefully that will be leading up to something. I definitely want to see them back together. I don't know what the hell they're doing with them. They're just doing some random shit. They shouldn't have broken them up in the first place, but that's a story for another day. Then we can just go straight to the main event. It was a solid main event. Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins. Pretty solid main event. I thought Rollins was gonna take that, give a shock for the first episode, but I guess they're gonna continue the story. So, yeah, that was that. I mean, Raw was solid, nothing crazy, but they're trying to set the tone for the year. What did you guys think? What was your highs? What were your lows? What you like, dislike? Blah blah blah.
I think two things that I liked the most was probably like the Seth match. Like Seth is my favorite like wrestler right now, I think, in WWE period across the board. Like from the entrance to the end bell, I usually enjoy what Seth does. Interviews, matches, top to bottom, whole presentation. And then just the prospect of seeing the Hurt Business back together. Like you said, they should have never broke them up in the first place. There was no reason why they broke them up. It wasn't like they broke up and then there was something significant for Cedric to do or significant for Shelton to do. You got two extremely, like, Shelton just had a 20-year anniversary the other day.
Yeah, they just praised him heavy. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Really
but
nice.
like somebody that nice and you don't have anything for him, it's like the age-old story. It's like, the fuck are y'all doing? Like, creative has nothing for you. What do you mean? So between the two of them, Shelton Benjamin has been nice. When they were doing the 205 Live joint and he had the match against whoever it was, he wasn't signed. The whole crowd was cheering and they brought him back out and said, nah, we're signing him. How do you, from that point, have nothing for this dude to actually do? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. So when they finally put the Hurt Business together and everybody's clicking, they got the tag team of Shelton and Cedric. They got Bobby Lashley in beast mode. He's collecting titles, doing what he does. I think he's U.S. champ at the time. And then MVP just talking wild shit. How do you not figure out what to do? So I'm interested to see not only put that original core back together, but MVP is still with Omos.
Oh yeah. What if Omos is the leader of the new Hurt Business?
He's either the leader. He could be the enforcer. He could be the young boy. He's the youngest, most inexperienced dude out of everybody, even though he's the biggest.
He's like, yo, I'm the one who wants to
He damn sure ain't.
I don't know about
he
the
damn
mastermind.
sure ain't the mastermind. Let's relax. Damn sure ain't
Don't
the
do that.
mastermind. But he could be the young boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was Cedric. Now, so in general, like, I want to see that. The shit that was whack coming out of that, aside from Boog's topic, which we'll get into, was whack.
Now, you know what? We could, Ronnie, if you want to bring that into this topic and dive into it, I could change mine up because I think it fits better.
No. Continue. No.
We can, because that's a
absolutely.
segment unto itself.
Right.
Because like that goes in the Bliss. It goes into what are we doing with Bianca.
Right.
It goes into the Bray Wyatt and that
Yeah.
whole. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to go in there right now. But it looked like Seth hurt himself. Now it could be that this is part of the storyline or not, but I know, like, after the cameras stopped rolling, they threw the X up. They helped him out. Like, Corey Graves came up off of commentary, and they helped Seth walk to the back. Like, at some point, it looked like he tweaked his knee. So my only thing to say about that is hopefully this is storyline and not an injury, because I hate to see anybody get hurt or get injured in general. But, Seth is rolling right now, and for that to happen right before the Rumble and right before Mania season, the role that he's on, that shit would be terrible. So hopefully a storyline. Haven't heard any real news come out, but the only thing that was tweeted out, he did that whole reclaim, rebuild shit that he did the first time he got hurt. So hopefully a storyline and not an actual injury. But yeah, that's my my highlights from Raw.
Word. I think I just appreciate whatever's good on WWE programming. I mean, they had a really, really strong short run when Triple H took over from SummerSlam this past year till whenever, where it was like all strong. Now Chad's gone. Well, we'll bring him back. But there he is.
There you go.
Yes. So I feel like everything's that should be celebrated. The things that should be critiqued. But my highlight, I would say, from Raw, I'm going to pick something different. I'm going to say Montez Ford. I feel like he's a breakout wrestler on Raw, and he's going to be a singles wrestler just as, if not more impressively than he's been a tag team wrestler soon enough, because he's way too charismatic to be kind of held into a tag team that's not going to be holding the belts unless they're taking them off the Usos. Just doesn't make sense. But again, Montez Ford, his energy when he was reacting to Bianca being injured or whatever happened to her during the Alexa Bliss segment and all that was pretty good television. Like we said, the tease for the Hurt Business, I was really satisfied with that because none of us were happy when they broke up. So I don't know. I don't know if there's really anything else that stands out. I'm liking Theory more, which is weird because I never really liked him at all. Hopefully that turns into something. But between AJ Styles and Seth, I hope those injuries either aren't serious or, in the case of Seth, not a real thing at all. But we'll see what happens. The low light for me, obviously. I think you all know how much I love Bray Wyatt, and I'm just not a fan of the pink hair part of it. So I'm gonna toss it to Chad. I'm not gonna waste any time on this topic because mine kind of touches on it. So I feel like a lot of what I could say about what I don't like will be mentioned in my portion of it. So I'll just hold that for now. But Chad, you go to that.
Well, Monday Night Raw, a little better than average. A little better than average, I would say, overall. You know what I'm saying? Austin Theory is going to be... He's going to get over as a babyface when time comes. That's how I feel. Like, in due time, people are going to actually love this kid. The way they're pushing him, he's going to get over. It's going to take a year or 2 or 3, but he'll get over. He will get over. I see the foresight of that. I hope the Seth storyline with the tweaked knee is actually going to be a work. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be anything real. You know, create some drama for the Rumble. Is he going to show up? Will he even be there? You know, that intrigue. The countdown for Cody Rhodes, I think that's going to be really dope. I'm excited for that because, you know, he's coming back to the Rumble. You know what I mean? You know, hopefully that'd be a good point. You know, a good talking point. You see that. I was very curious about why Montez Ford would do the eye roll thing during the middle of the tag match. It was kind of blowing mine. But, you know, it could be a certain amount of things. He could be getting mad at Dawkins. He could be thinking about Bianca. So that is a little piece that we can, you know, table that off, and we'll get to that down the line. I'll say the women's title match, as we said, was a joke. Probably one of Bianca Belair's worst outings. She, to me, and I debated this with Mac Vick on previous outings, that she is the female Black John Cena in the sense that she's lovable. She's never going to lose the title. She's always going to have credibility, and you can just place her there. And I understand why Mercedes Moné is not coming back. And she's like, I'm not competing with this because I can go do my own thing. I feel, you know, might be the thing. You know, women might have their own feelings, but I feel like Bianca right now, I damn near feel like she might not even lose the title at this point. She might just steamroll past WrestleMania. Now that Charlotte's back and she's on SmackDown doing it up, Becky is over here confused with Bayley. I think Bianca Belair is actually going to just bypass everyone at WrestleMania and keep holding the women's title. That's me. I'm going to go on the long shot and say that. She's not even going to lose the title anytime soon. How about that?
You're consistent. Every time we have pay-per-view predictions, Chad does not bet against Bianca Belair. I think he only did the last time, and I think we were all right. Did she lose? She didn't lose the title. It wasn't a title.
Was that Survivor Series?
It was something. It was maybe Team Bianca lost. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was something like that where it wasn't for the title, but maybe she lost or something like that.
But either way, Chad's consistent, so I respect it.
You know what I mean? Because who's she going to lose it to right now? Like another Becky run? That's what we really about to go to in 2023? Becky and Charlotte again? That's what we riding with? All right, man. Rhea Ripley might come through, but other than that, I think Bianca is just going to keep steamrolling through. What else do we got? We got KO and the Bloodline. You know, that's always going to be there until who knows? That's always a fun ride. They're going to keep this NWO assault up every Raw until it's over. KO is going to fight every variation of Sami Zayn, the Usos, and Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. They'll be in the fold too. I'm ready for like one title to be back on Raw for the tag and the world title. Like, I'm advocating for that entirely. I cannot wait until this potential split happens again and the Bloodline lose all the belts, and we got to go through that storyline of the postpartum of that whole like losing of everything. Like, I'm ready for belts to be separate again because it's like we need some things to fight for. It's been a long Roman Reigns years as champion, man. The Usos too. Like, we need somebody to like be on Raw competing with a world title again. Like, everyone's just feuding for the sake of feuding at this point. Bobby Lashley is just beating people up because he's mad he has no titles to challenge for. That's the bottom line of it. He's like, yo, I have no world title right now. I'm edged out of the U.S. title. So I can't even find a tag team to even get the world tag titles. Like, what am I doing here? Like I got to go to SmackDown to fight Gunther, but I'm drafted to Raw. It's like, I see why he's beating everybody up, man. He's pissed. He's like, yo, give me a world title again. Like, everybody wants it. Like, I would like to go to a show and like be like, okay, the world champion is here. You know what I mean? I miss that era. So that's my tangent on the wrap up of Raw. For me, every Raw and SmackDown until post WrestleMania is the countdown of like, yo, the end of the drought of not having championships to like show on
they have to
SmackDown
specifically.
Let me just say one thing, Chad. You mentioned Cody Rhodes before, and I remember I think they had interviewed him last week on Raw, where it was like the best of 22 Raw, and they were talking about like his recovery time or whatever, and he was pretty vague about coming back. So I feel like he may pop up at Royal Rumble, you know, or maybe sometime. Obviously, I think sometime way before WrestleMania, but you know. But I'm still banking on Royal Rumble because he was really vague with what he was saying. So I'm gonna see where that's gonna go. So, but what's good?
Lord. Well,
Boogie, it's time.
ladies and gentlemen, last time we were here, there was black licorice oozing out of someone's face, and none of us were happy about it. I don't even think she was happy about it. But somehow, some way, by some stretch of the imagination, fate has brought us back here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Alexa Bliss is a demon again, and she's seeing shit, and she's beating people up, and she's snapping, and it's a thing. Before you know it, she'll have Alka-Seltzer in her mouth again. And I don't know how much more I can take of this. I was one of the most excited people that Bray Wyatt was coming back. I know his creativity is amazing. I think the biggest disconnect for me is that Bray has all this production value into his stuff, even with Uncle Howdy with his in-ring on SmackDown the other day. Lights went out. We had a couple lights flashing. You could kind of see what's going on, kind of not. But with this Alexa promo, we have just like fan A wearing an Uncle Howdy mask and fan Z wearing an Uncle Howdy mask. And it's like, what the fuck are we looking at right now? What's happening? This is happening during a match with their world champion? I'm fucking confused. I don't want to be fucking confused. That's part of the reason I watched this after work, because I just want to decompress and enjoy my life. But somehow I find myself fucking confused. So what I want to toss around here, folks, is what level of confusion are we at here? And if anyone can provide any insight to clear my confusion, I would really fucking appreciate it, because I'm lost. Take it away, gentlemen.
Hey, man. For starters, I'm not going to say that I'm confused. I just don't like it.
All right.
Whatever we saw on Monday was like junior high theater. That shit was terrible. It makes no sense. See, this is the problem when we get into like the spooky, you know, the ghosts and the goblins and all that shit. I don't tune into wrestling to watch that, right? Everybody immediately goes to, oh, but The Undertaker, but Kane. Cool. I was like fucking 5 when that shit came out. And then at some point, it became more about the matches that The Undertaker was having and a specific storyline, and less about believing that he was actually a fucking zombie.
That
right?
shit, and I got to jump in real quick. That shit was like ketchup being on the table in a diner. It's just there.
It's just
it
there.
wasn't forced. This shit is forced. But go ahead. Sorry.
But like, that's the thing. Like in the beginning, we were supposed to believe that this guy was fucking dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like, nah, he's just it's something else. It's its own thing. I don't know what Bray Wyatt's like. Where do we got to get this moving? For starters, part of the problem with Bray Wyatt is that once he came back, he did the same shit every week for probably 2 months at this point. There was
The
very
foot's on the
little
brake
progression.
Way too much. We
Yeah.
gotta drive.
There was very little progression. Like there's a fine line between hot-shotting something and moving too fast and, you know, letting it play out and long-term storytelling, hashtag blah, blah, blah. There's a fine line. That's the sweet spot. At some point, you got to get this shit moving. What are we doing? Who is this Uncle Howdy dude? There's a bunch of pictures. I actually know who it is if you look at the pictures. It's looking like it's Bo Dallas, but
For sure.
he's under this Uncle Howdy character or whatever. But what does that even mean? Like, why is he coming out with the mask on? What is his relation in kayfabe to Bray Wyatt? Like, why all of a sudden are these people interacting with each other? And why the fuck, in the middle of a match, does Alexa Bliss look at somebody and then get dizzy and stumble in the middle of the ring? And then a video plays and she gets dizzy again. Like, I'm sorry. That's just trash. It's just bad. And I'm not really that big of a fan of Alexa Bliss in ring anyway. Nothing looks crisp. She used to be a little bit better, in my opinion, than what she is now. Like, her throwing a punch doesn't look realistic, let alone any other move she tries to throw out. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it has to do with her pulling back because she doesn't want to hurt anybody. I used to love, for instance, the double knees that she would drop and then hit the backflip into the other double knees, and then she would land them, and it would look good. Now
She's a high
pulling back.
flyer.
I don't know what the fuck she is. She's not even that. She's
Word.
just
She's
a body in
far
tights.
cry away from her 2015, 16,
Yeah.
17 run.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
whack. She's whack. And I'm not one of them. I'm not gonna see. I've never taken a bump, so I can't sit there and tell somebody how to do something. Just like nobody can tell me if they haven't done what I've done, how to do what I do. That being said, what I'm watching as a fan, I wouldn't then say to one of y'all, "Yo, y'all gotta go check that Alexa Bliss match," unless it was bad, because it ain't good
I
And
don't think
the-
any
the-
of us
the-
are smart marks,
at
but
all.
I do think that we are cognizant enough to know the difference between something that's meant to bring heat and make us dislike it and something that we don't like because it tastes like shit.
Yeah, because we don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. I don't want to watch Alexa Bliss right now, and that's a shame because, like, again, she had a good run before. She had spurts before where she was really doing some great shit, and this ain't it. And maybe this is something that they enjoyed, like she enjoys doing. Maybe she enjoys the character, and more power to you. I just won't watch. You know what I'm saying? And the constant here is that Bianca Belair has been the world champ and putting in dope matches, even when she's been thrown bullshit. She's figuring out a way to make it something that we at least come away from like, oh, that was dope. So it wasn't Bianca. They didn't have a lot of chemistry in the ring. That what is it, Scream that they took the that was dope. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pick up on it while I was watching it, but then I saw in some of the side by sides like, oh shit, I got a little chuckle out of that. If that's the only good thing that comes out of a match, then you're not doing it right. That's all I got.
All right.
Please help us out, Ron.
I for myself will say I was an Alexa Bliss fan from like when she was at NXT. I thought she was.
Yo, why you had to scratch your head when you said that? You was
We don't
like, yo,
judge you,
I
Yeah,
bro.
mean,
because it's because it's unfortunate to say because of where she's at now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she I think she came in there 2013. Then she went to the main roster in 2016. Now the illest line that she said within the last few weeks was that I think to Bianca Belair she was like, "Yo, I was winning multiple championships before you even came in here," which is actually a fact. That's right.
dope.
That is super
Play on
dope
that.
because I believe she's won I think the SmackDown Championship 3 times, the Raw Championship twice. She's been a women's tag team championship 3 times, and that shit is like it's like non-existent now. Listen, when she started doing this this gimmick or whatever she's doing now, like it started off cool and then it just dropped off, and then she went. I think she got the doll. And then after that, after that, it just went downhill from there. And then she went to do the therapy sessions, and then she went away, and then she came back, which was cool. But now Now they wanted to go back into this gimmick again. The only thing I like about this thing was just just like the storytelling of the actual gimmick, but I don't want to see it. Like they need to do something else with her. And I know, you said before, like she kind of regressed in the ring, and which is very true, because she's not crisp anymore. Listen, they need to drop this gimmick because it's not working for her. She has a lot of accomplishments, like, and it's not even being mentioned. Listen, they need to switch some things up, man. And if anything, let her. You know what was cool? The gimmick that when she had that talk show with what was it, Nikki Cross, and that was, I think, right after that.
Yep.
That was kind of like the like that. I think when she started to do the thing with Bray Wyatt, then it went downhill from there. She needs to go back to wherever she was at that time or before that, man. They just need to switch some things up, and then now now you beat down Bianca Belair, you torturing her, and then Montez Ford is disturbed. So now this gimmick is bleeding into other matches, into into other talent. So like, we don't like the gimmick as it is now, so don't bleed it into everybody else. So
I just feel like what AO said made so much sense. We were all anticipating this, but there's such a slow burn on this Bray Wyatt thing now that it's like you haven't fully developed that thought so we can catch on. So when you're spreading these crumbs along, it's just spreading confusion.
Right.
Like, what are we
and
doing?
I like the
What's happening
spreading
here?
of the crumbs, but it's some bad crumbs. That's because
Yeah,
I
word.
appreciate good storytelling, because now you're just building up to something, but it's some stale crumbs. Let's just put it out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Chad,
My take on Alexa Bliss with this: think back to the last 5-star classic Alexa Bliss match you've ever watched, and that should tell you where Alexa Bliss
I can't recollect.
is ever
I can't
gonna
recollect.
stand. My eyes. Like,
Damn.
when was the last time you said, "Yo, that Alexa Bliss match"?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Hey, yo, anybody,
saying.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at our group chat. Has anyone in the last 5 years said, "Yo, that Alexa Bliss match was it,
So,
man"?
Selfishly, I can say I'm not a big fan because
You
her
know what I'm
face
saying?
reminds me of my little sister. But that has nothing to do with anything.
I mean, so I'll say that's my only take, man. I'll wrap it up on Alexa Bliss with that, man. It's just, hey, she's here. She's a WWE staple. She's always going to be here no matter what. She'll always have a job. And just please don't be all elite in 2024. That's all I just hope to not see. I don't need that. I don't want to see Alexa Bliss as all elite.
I feel like Alexa Bliss is what Dolph Ziggler would be if they tried to force Dolph Ziggler into several storylines. She's all right. Dolph Ziggler's pretty sound in the ring. Alexa's all right. She's sound in the ring. She's nothing to really write home about right now.
But there's something going on proper with them, especially. Yeah,
There's no
especially
draw
with
there.
Dolph Ziggler was in the background on Raw trying to fight the bloodline. They're not doing anything with them. It's just backstage and catering.
It's like, I understand making business decisions for the business. I understand selling Lily dolls, if that's like what we're doing here. But at the end of the day, you are bringing back a major wrestler, a major star in Bray Wyatt, who you're probably paying pretty good money to come back and do all this. I understand that we need to seed this storyline and sew the thread and make it all work and bring things back. But the last time we saw this, Alexa killed this man. So if she's being haunted by him, okay, but like, stop with the slow burn and give us something to bite into, because it's already uninteresting. I don't know. That's all I got. Chad, please take us home with your topic, my friend.
So I'm going to just wrap it up for All Elite Wrestling right now, after being fresh off of Dynamite. I'm going to say all of my future deserving champions in All Elite Wrestling for every title, because there's so many titles in All Elite Wrestling. It's like, why not just give my predictions for the ones that should be holding the belts? So, we're going to start with the Trios Championships. So deserving. The best friends, I hope, in 2023 will be holding the Trios Championships. They are unbelievably, they've been there the longest. They are homegrown talent, technically. And they have not held any gold tag team or any of that. I was just thinking about that. I mean, granted, Orange Cassidy is the All-Atlantic champion right now, currently. It's still All-Atlantic title. It's just here. Which brings me to the next belt, the All-Atlantic title. I think Miro will return and devour that whole vision. Devour that whole division. I just thought about it. That's how Miro will come back. He will just take over that division and just have that belt until the unforeseeable future.
Can we just watch that guy rip somebody's head off their shoulders on live television?
All-Atlantic.
That'd be great.
He will, it's got to be Miro. Miro, I see being the one to be the All-Atlantic, juggernaut when it comes to that division next. Then we're going to go to the women's title. I think on the women's title side, Jade Cargill, this year will be her year that she finally takes the women's title, and she has a good reign with it. I don't think they're going to hold on to 2024. They got to give Jade her. Unless she gets to 100, and even if she gets to 100 wins, it's yo, come on, man. She's not the women's champion yet. She's undefeated, dog. She's literally beaten everyone that there is to beat besides the women's champion. Give her the belt already. Let her just beat that division, which is the same crop of women that she's already beat to even keep the belt that she currently has.
Oh, God.
So that brings me to the TBS champion. I think that will be Willow Nightingale. Did I say her name right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
She will be the TBS champion. I think that'll be a nice one. Everyone wants to see it. She's very well loved. Tony Khan. Tony's got to give us what we want. Got to give the people what they want. And I think her winning at All Out or something like that, or Double or Nothing, would be pretty fire. If she wins. And also a dark horse too. Britt Baker, just to have a belt. Britt Baker will also be the TBS champion at some point this year, just because it's you know what? If I'm not getting it from Jamie, I'm just going to go ahead and just have a belt myself, and I'll just run this division now, and then Jade Cargill's time will just come over in the women's division. And it'll just, I don't see Thunder Rosa coming back no time soon. I don't think we really want Thunder Rosa back anytime soon. That's just me personally. I don't know, not really a Thunder Rosa. My fan base for Thunder Rosa has fell off entirely after her injury, and the stuff I just hear in the rumblings. I'm just I'm good on it. Stay doing Busted Open. You're good. Then we got the tag titles. I think tag team champions at some point this year, because I can't even think of the current tag teams in AEW, which is pretty sad. I don't want to say the Ass Boys, so I'm going to say Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are going to be future tag team champions in AEW, because we need some genuine tag team heels to hate. And right now, as it looks on the cards, you kind of go back and forth of cheer this guy, cheer this guy, cheer this guy, cheer this guy on AEW, as opposed to yo, I really don't want to see any of these guys win. Did you see how silent the crowd was when they actually got that fake pinfall off last night? That was actually kind of dope. The crowd generally looked oh no,
they were about to riot.
Did they really win the tag titles from the Acclaim tonight? That. And I appreciate that. And that was the silence that you don't get to see in AEW crowds usually, because everyone's just 5-star classic. We love this guy. We love this tag team. No, they actually genuinely hate Jeff Jarrett. And I love that Jeff Jarrett is having this time of resurgence right now. It's you can't go wrong with a true heel like that. Him and MJF, they're doing their heel thing. And even MJF is he's finally got someone who is a baby face to play against with Bryan Danielson. I don't think he will be losing the title anytime soon. So unfortunately, I don't think anyone will be the world champion in AEW in 2023 besides MJF. I would be very, very surprised. Once he put the list out, I feel that's just going to be good storylines in itself of seeing all those people that he has on his list, chase after the belt. When Adam Cole finally comes back, that's going to be a nice feud. You know what I'm saying? I think MJF holds it down all year. I don't think did I miss a belt? I think I got every belt.
I think that was it.
FTW championship. I mean, Hook can just have that. You know what I'm saying?
Just give it back to Taz and stop talking about it. That's
retire it, maybe. That could be retired. And yeah, I think that's it for all elite wrestling when it comes to that, man. I'm not going to touch on Ring of Honor, WWE, or any of that unless you guys want to touch base on it. But that's my AEW predictions for all the champions.
Good topic.
All right. So I 1,000% agree for starters that MJF is not losing this year. He will be the champion he was the champion January 1st, 2023. He will be the champion January 1st, 2024. That's not going anywhere. He's not going to wrestle 10 times this year. So that by itself, he's not going to lose. Although the Danielson 1 hour Iron Man match, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? At least it's something different.
It will be.
Yeah, that's interesting. So we got the rest of the titles. I want to see the Guns as the tag champs. I like their act right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they come out when you're not supposed to like somebody.
I didn't want to say
them. Entertaining.
I didn't want to say them, but yeah.
Like again, there's what we mentioned in the last segment. There's a big ass difference between I'm booing you because as a fan, if I'm participating, you're a heel, I'm booing you, and being invested that way versus I don't want to see you anymore. Right. Leave my screen. I don't dislike the Guns. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a good thing going, so I can see them as a very fun tag team to root against. You know what I'm saying? I can see Swerve winning that TNT title this year. You know, I like what Joe was doing.
Shit, you just reminded me about the TNT title. Okay, yeah.
You didn't mention TNT?
I didn't say the TNT. I just thought about that. I didn't say the TNT. I didn't say the TNT to say that. I would say for me, Ricky Starks. That's it. I'm a Ricky Starks guy. I feel like Ricky Starks would definitely be the TNT champion this year. He's like got to be. I wish he was instead of this Darby Allin ball washing going on right now, but. You know, this is just what they love at AEW, man. It's like
man, y'all are not Darby Allin fans, huh?
Ricky Starks will eventually have his run, and I also think as a dark horse, Jon Moxley or Chris Jericho will have a run as TNT champion this year. We'll see that happen in 2023. Mad random on a night that we're just like, wow, Jon Moxley the TNT champion now. This guy won't ever take a vacation. Now he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to just take a belt too now. Like, I'm sick of not having a belt. I've got to have a belt. A lot of people are going to get pissed this year if they don't have belts, and they're just going to take whatever belt they can get their hands on.
We're going to get an AEW hardcore title sooner or later.
Yo, so you spoke about the FTW championship. I think the FTW championship has potential if you define the rules to be something different other than a match, and I happen to bring this title. So you spoke about Jon Moxley also. I think this year we get super pissed off, more violent than ever, heel Moxley, and he beats the shit out of Hook and takes that FTW championship. Like a lot of people love Hook right
now. That sounds good to the motherfucker. Yeah. That sounds good.
Hook gets a pop every time he comes out. What better way as a heel? You see somebody just go completely overboard and beat up somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Just beat up everybody that people
got
like.
Taz involved.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, attack Taz.
It's a lot to that. It's a lot to that.
Attack Taz. Just attack the entire. Like, I can see that. So that would be interesting. Back to the TNT. I think that the Death Triangle drops Rey Fenix because I think the rest of them go heel and he remains a face. Because remember, we're at the tail end of this tournament. One of the storylines this entire tournament was how he didn't want to use the hammer, but he was being pressured by Penta and by Pac to use the hammer to win. So they lose these titles to the Elite. He comes back to his senses. Guys, I wasn't fucking with y'all. They get him out of there. It's not foreign to see Penta and Phoenix on opposite sides. They've done it in every other company that they've been in. So that's not foreign. Besides, brothers fight. Sometimes we fuck with each other. I'll see you at Thanksgiving, my guy. So that's what's going to happen. And I can see a nice solo run with Phoenix as a TNT championship holder at some point this year. Moving over to the TBS, Willow Nightingale is spot on. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's one of the people that I haven't seen anything negative tweeted, said at all about Willow. So for her, that's and she's nice. That's the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not personality wise. I mean, like, in ring, she's nice. She knows what she's doing. She's entertaining to watch. So TBS makes a lot of sense for her. I think we get multiple runs from Jamie Hayter this year. She's a champ now. She'll be the champ at least one more time before the end of the year. I think Saraya definitely has a turn with that title this year. I don't know how much in ring we're actually going to see from her this year, because I'm not sure like where she actually is. But I think Saraya at some point this year wins that world championship, the women's world championship. What did I miss? Tag team championships was the Guns, TBS I mentioned, TNT I mentioned,
All Atlantic and trios.
Death Triangle. Like, there's no reason why the Death Triangle shouldn't be
Again?
like they were. They
I
were
mean, you
never
think they
the
should just
three.
win? You think they're gonna win?
Yeah, absolutely. I think look, not Death Triangle.
Deal.
Damn, House of Black. Pardon me, House of Black.
Okay.
Elite's gonna win. The Elite are gonna win this tournament. You know what I'm saying? And that leads to Death Triangle doing something different. To keep it Death Triangle, you have to add a new member, by the way. So at some point in our text, I had pitched Miro, which would be very interesting. But I also think I love what Samoa Joe did with the whole King of Television thing, and I think that fits a character like Miro if you bring Lana in, because she could talk all that shit about my King of Television kind of shit. So that would be kind of entertaining. But back to the trios, House of Black. There's no reason why there should be a better trio than them for the majority of this year. So that's for a fact. And then All Atlantic, I don't know, fuck it. I'm going to go random. I'm going to say my boy Zack Sabre Jr. comes over from New Japan. He takes that shit, goes back over.
What? This guy just shot.
Zack Sabre.
This guy said Forbidden Door 2 biggest pop in the world. Like, holy.
Nah, man. Like, yo, I think like aside from some Forbidden Door maneuvers, I'd like that title to be like more some of the younger dudes coming up. So it could be somebody that is killing it in ROH once they finally get it moving. Maybe Lee Moriarty. That could be kind of interesting because he's part of that whole.
My sleeper would be Takeshita.
He's Takeshita. That would be fire.
Takeshita,
you know what I'm saying? Like, Takeshita would be fire. Yeah, that All Atlantic is kind of up for grabs because I mean, yo, the way that they've been booking that is like Pac, for instance, when he was the champ, he was going over to England and defending it. So there's no reason why somebody from England or another promotion somewhere else, just to, as a friendly gesture from AEW to the rest, just, throwing on somebody else. So, but yeah, I like this. This should be, I would love to see just some fresh faces that in general haven't had titles this year, just to freshen up some of these storylines. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah,
you got it, Ron.
So while you guys were talking, I was trying to think of some people who can hold the title because of the 200-person roster, but let's start from the beginning of, I think for the AEW title, yeah, MJF is holding that for the whole year. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into 2024 with that. For the tag titles, I think the Acclaimed, the Ass Boys, I think they got a good thing going. They healing as they're healing, you know what I'm saying? But I was also thinking that they'll hold it for a minute and then FTR comes and takes those titles off of them because those are the only titles that they haven't held. So it's either they'll take it off the Ass Boys or maybe FTR will, they'll disappear for just a little bit and then come and take it off the Acclaimed maybe in a few months maybe.
Hold on, Ron. They did hold them, but we just don't remember their title reign because
as
it was
you see,
just
I
that.
didn't remember that. FTR.
Who is this?
You see
FTR.
how long ago was that? Like 2 years ago? Something like that?
When AEW was first started.
So like 3 years. See, I forgot, you know what I'm saying? But see, this will be a good chance for them to regain it then because they just lost all the tag titles in all these places. So as far as the TNT title, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Darby fan. I'm a fan of the little guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the David versus Goliath guy, fighting all the big people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fan of that. I'm not very sure where they're gonna take it with that. I'll see next week on how they do with that. We're missing the All Atlantic title. I mentioned your name, Adam Cole. I wouldn't mind seeing him get that. Like Chad, like you said, Miro, that would be a good choice. As for the TNT Women's title, I can't call that right now. But I see Jay Cargill holding that for a little bit. Sometimes she's gonna get up to like 100 wins. She's gonna do the Goldberg run. and then lose it to, I don't know. I can't. I want to say Thunder Rosa, but that's a stretch. Because I am a Thunder Rosa fan. I like her in-ring work and stuff. So, the trios title, I do see. Yeah, I think the Elite's gonna win that, and then I can see House of Black getting that as well. Sometime before the fall comes. Am I missing a title? I don't remember which one I'm at right now. I think that's it. Am I missing? I think
so.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Word.
Yo, Boog, before you go, do we see any singles titles from like Omega at all in AEW this year? Because he hasn't been on anybody's list outside of Trio so far. Just throwing it out there.
Nah, New Japan run.
Yeah, I think he'd be good there. He can shine there.
He's gonna be Mox. He's gonna be like Mox of 2021 in New Japan. But yeah, so my take on this, I feel like, again, like everyone said, MJF didn't come back after stomping his feet to not be the AEW World Champion. I don't see him losing that, unless of course CM Punk, who is still listed on the AEW roster as of right now on the website, for any reason were to come back and there was to be a little feud there, which would be awesome to have all over again. But yeah, MJF's going to retain the AEW World Championship for the entire 2023. I feel like the AEW Women's World Champion is going to be Jade Cargill at some point. I do think she's either going to vacate her TBS title and just be like, look, if I ain't going to be number one contender for this belt, y'all could just take this. Could I just like jump the line or something? Like what's going on here? Like I need this title.
That too.
Because I don't see anyone beating her for the TBS title.
That's kind of like what Asuka did with the NXT title. She never lost it. She vacated. I think it was injury, but regardless,
take
she never
this.
lost
I don't want it. Yeah. I think she'd give it up. I do think like Saraya somehow will have the TBS championship this year. Just my opinion there. I don't see her as world championship holder yet. There's just too much there for Saraya to get a title. As far as the tag team championships, I do see FTR turning heel after dropping all these titles and either becoming the tag team champions or, again, my long shot crazy booking is CM FTR coming back together and being heels, take it over the trios
won't stop.
titles after the Elite are, going to obviously win this best of 7 because there's no reason the Elite, being EVPs, would put together a best of 7 titles championship with their return if they weren't going to be winning them. So we got the Elite winning those. I'm just saying, fantasy booking, it would be great to see CM FTR as heels in that situation and that whole shit going down because everybody already doesn't agree with them because everyone loves the Elite. But again, that's not going to happen. So if I was to pick a real group to take the Trios champions, I don't know. Death Triangle ain't going to have them much longer. So if the Elite do actually win this best of 7, I think they're just going to hold it for a while. So I would just say the Elite. So we get Kenny Omega out of the way here.
Good call.
I don't know about a singles title, but I'm just going to go with the Elite. As far as the All-Atlantic Championship, I think this and TNT champion could be interchangeable, but I see Miro or Bryan Danielson in either one of those roles. I think Bryan Danielson wouldn't carry a belt with all those diamonds on it, so he'll probably be the All-Atlantic champion, and Miro's going to come back and take the TNT championship again.
That's a good one. I forget the Bryan.
I like Danielson as All-Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he clearly doesn't want the world title, but yeah, he could just have fire matches and then lose when he doesn't feel like carrying it in his
back. Figure 4 leg lock the shit out of that title. But yeah, that's what I got. I don't think I missed anybody. I think I got all of them. Yeah. So that's it. We're almost right on schedule too. We did a pretty good job today, guys. Staying on pace.
Yeah.
Take us out of here, Bug.
All right. So for an exit survey. All right. What do we got here? I can't believe I don't have it. I'm gonna have to cut out this dead air. All right. What would be a bigger disappointment? if Tony Storm is Saraya's partner, actually, even though they announced that she is, or if it is another surprise and it isn't Mercedes Moné.
Another surprise would absolutely be, because like, yo, you cover your bases if you say, nah, Tony Storm is my partner. Everybody's expecting the swerve, but if there's no swerve, you can't say they didn't lie. But if they try to bring somebody out the woodwork, it's like, damn, you like, there's nobody out there.
Shakushi Morikeshka.
Word.
They're gonna bring a Joshi
Tessa
wrestler
Blanchard,
in.
bro.
That's not Hikaru Shida.
Yo, Tessa Blanchard would be outrageous. Outrageous.
Yo, don't put it past Tony Khan. He might still pull off anything.
I don't think Tony.
Bro.
I would say that the E would do that faster than Tony would, bro.
You're right.
Because Tony's on the internet talking shit
she's
like
gonna
the
be
rest of us.
she's gonna be Tyrus's tag team partner in NWA before she's anything else.
Yeah, shouts to Billy Corrigan. But yeah, like, a bigger disappointment is somebody out the woodworks instead of Tony.
I agree.
Same.
What you got, Ron?
Because when she announced what's her face, Tony, I thought it was gonna be somebody else. So, but my thing is, who else is there? I was gonna say like friggin' Thunder Rosa, but I forgot she's gonna be out for a while, and then I can't think of anybody else. So, listen, I think that's what it's gonna be. I think that would be a bigger disappointment.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna go with the outside opinion here and say the biggest disappointment was having Tony Storm, the tag team partner, because you could have just
Chad can't help himself, bro. He's a natural dissenter, bro.
You could have just left it as blank in the graphic and just did a Saraya promo and just left it alone and had nothing to do with anything. Like, if Saraya's character is gonna be like the woman who just says outlandish shit and doesn't realize how it pisses people off, then it's like, I'm actually gonna be here for that. But other than that, you could have just left it alone and just not said anything until it was time to go, look at the screen, everyone, and then ta-da. That, I think, would be good. That would have been.
100% agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Them announcing it was like slicing the air bubble on an Air Max and just letting the air out. It's like, for what? Why'd you just do that?
Yo, but let's play the other side. What if they do not have an agreement with Mercedes, and they didn't say anything past Wednesday, and they still left it blank, and then Tony Storm walked out anyway?
They just asked out.
That's about as bad as it gets.
There we go. Because now it's like, at least if it was Tony on the night of, it'd be like, we didn't really see this coming. Like, no one really.
What if they didn't announce her?
Yeah, if they didn't announce her, they could be like, no one even said anything about Tony Storm. So it's like, you want it to be Mercedes.
Way worse.
You want it to be Mercedes, but it's like, if it was Tony Storm, it's like, well, no one really said anything of like, oh, it was going to be Mercedes. But like, the fact that it's like, now it's really going to be Tony Storm, and like, now we're going to have some funny finish to get Tony Storm knocked out of here so Mercedes can come save the day. It's like, you could have just gave it to me straight up on the plate, like, you know what I'm saying?
As long as it's not like Rick Ross, fucking Parker Boudreaux, and Buju Banton, and anybody else they could pull out, I'm good, bro. I don't want nobody else coming in from the music world.
Let's see. We got less than a week to see if Mercedes actually does debut. But again, like, if she doesn't, they never said it.
And so leave it at that. There you go.
We out of here?
I know it's a new year, but it's still fuck you, San Diego. And
Joe, we still got to get money out in Dago, man. Don't be saying all that, man. Don't be talking all that, man. We got to get money out.
I'm good in San Diego. Ain't nothing gonna happen out there. It's just fuck them. That's all.
All right.
Yo, man. Peace and love. Peace and love. That's all we pushing for 2023. We ain't pushing please. We pushing peace. You feel me?
No, ain't no problem.
Oh, man.
Just listen to Ron Burgundy.
We out of here. It's the Ringside Club, kids.
On.
Peace.